All ready?
Ready.
Okay, I'll call the committee adjustments meeting to order. Hastings County is situated on the treaty land that is rich in indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Metis, and Inuit people. We honor their culture, celebrate their commitment to this land. We acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within. Need a motion that the agenda for the committee adjustments meeting held June 16th, 2026 be adopted as presented.
I move.
Moved by Don. Seconder.
That has turned on.
We'll go with Mike this time.
I don't care.
All in favor?
I'm just trying to move it along.
Any declaration of interest to the general nature thereof? And number 4 is the minutes of the previous meeting. So we need a motion on the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on May 19th, 2026 be approved as presented. Moved by Matt, second by Grant. All in favor? That's carried. So application, so we need a motion to go into a public meeting regarding an application for minor variance 71 John Street. Moved by Mike.
Second.
Second by Don. All in favor? Carried. So minor variance application. So the purpose of this application is to request relief from section 13.1A of comprehensive bylaw, zoning bylaw 320-03 as amended to permit a reduction in the minimum square footage for an additional residential unit. While recognizing deficient rear and interior north side yard setback outlined in the table below. Well, everybody sees the table there. So I'm gonna ask the chair, if notice of the meeting has been given to all persons and agencies entitled to receive notice and on what date the notices were given.
Notices were sent on May 26, 2026.
And do we have any written submissions?
No.
Thank you. Anybody present that would like to speak to this subject? No? We need a motion to adjourn our public meeting.
I'll move.
Moved by Caroline, second by Mike, all in favor? Carried. So we're on number 6, so 6.1 MV2-26 decision for 721 John Street. So motion that the application for minor variance submitted by Tanya Sanderson regarding property municipally located at 71 John Street to permit a reduction in the minimum square footage for an additional residential unit while recognizing a deficient rear and interior north side yard setback subject to the following conditions. That approval of the minor variance shall only relate to the proposed 400 square feet, 37.16 meters square to detached additional residential unit, construction of which shall comply with all other applicable law. That the building permit, which is to remain in good standing, be applied for within 12 months of approval of this application, following submission to the building department of the appropriate application, fees, and supporting information as required by the chief building official. Number 3, that a section 59 clearance notice be obtained from Lower Trent Conservation. And number 4, that failing any part of the foregoing conditions, this application shall be deemed to be refused, shall be approved for the following reasons. The variance requested is considered to be minor in nature, as it will not adversely affect adjacent properties. The proposed use maintains the general intent and purpose of the Hastings County official plan and the Township of Sterling Rodden's comprehensive zoning bylaw, which permits residential uses on the subject property. The application represents a reasonable use of the property.
Well done, Twin.
Okay, we need a motion that
for 71
Yep, 71 John Street.
to approve.
Moved by Matt to approve, a seconder,
I'll second.
second by Don. Any more questions? Not all in favor? That's carried. And then we're need a motion to adjourn. By Caroline, second by Matt, all in favor? And with the adjustments is adjourned.
Before you leave, remember, we have to sign the paper.
Moving around.
Correct. Okay. Move right into planning advisory committee, so I'll call it planning advisory meeting to order. We have adoption of our agenda for the planning advisory committee meeting January 16th as presented. Was Caroline a seconder?
Second.
Second by Mike, all in favor? Carried. Any declaration of interest in the general nature thereof? None noted. Move into the public meeting, so we need a motion to go into the public meeting in regarding, Spring 2779 Springbrook Road and 101 Goods Road and some administrative amendments.
I'll move.
Moved by Don, a seconder. Second by Mike, all in favor? Carry. So the first one's zoning bylaw amendment for 2779 Springbrook Road. Applicants Norma Jackson, agent Denise Jackson, and its address is 2779 Springbrook Road. And the purpose and effect is to rezone approximately 6 hectares, 15 acres of land legally described as concession 9 and part of lot 15, municipally located at 2779 Springbrook Road from the marginal agricultural MA zone to the marginal agricultural exemption MA-14 zone to prohibit development within 300 meters of any area constituting of 5 or more existing dwelling lots occupying 4 hectares of land or less. So I'll ask the secretary if notice of the meeting be given to all persons and agencies entitled to receive notice and on what date. There we go.
May 11th, 2026, notices were sent.
Any written submissions on the subject? None? Anybody wish to speak to this?
I'd like to speak to it.
Okay,
My name is Rodney Johnston. I live right across the road from there. That notice is very vague in what that lady wants to do.
We were not really sure.
Does she want to build on that property or prevent it?
Through the chair, they are severing off a potential building lot for future residential development. It's unknown at this time whether or not they will actually develop the property. So through the consent process, they do have to do the rezoning, but because of the existing dwellings, they have to rezone.
So it's all good to rezone it, whatnot, and try to put dwellings on that property. But you guys familiar with the Springbrook area? There's no water there. She tries to put dwellings there. They're gonna have water trucked in for every one of them dwellings. We live right across the road. During the summer, we have water trucked in because there's no water in the wells. It's just, and it's a beautiful property right across the road that made a lot of deer play there and whatnot. And to put properties on land that there's no requirement for, why?
We're just concerned too, because there's been developments that maybe they're unsold, started to be developed, never went any further. So we would hate to see this land being developed and then again, just sit there. And ruin the,
They did the same thing on Sterling Marmer Road just before you enter Springbrook. Last summer, they dug a bunch of wells and you guys probably all know.
they're still working on it.
Yeah, and
we don't.
I live right downtown Springbrook,
Yeah.
so I know all the
yeah.
ins and outs.
It's like, they do the same thing there. It's like, why dig up the property and never develop it?
Okay, thank you. Okay. So 4.3 is a zoning bylaw amendment, 101 Goods Road. Purpose and effect is to rezone approximately 0.4 hectares, 1 acre of land legally described as concession 1, part lot 6, municipally located at 101 Goods Road, from the marginal agricultural MA zone to the community facility exemption CF-4 zone, to permit the construction of a schoolhouse for the Amish community while permitting an accessory building in front of the primary building. So, asking the secretary if notice of the meeting has been given to all persons and agencies entitled to receive notice, and on what date notices were given.
Notices for that one were sent on May 13th, 2026.
Any written submissions at this time?
None.
Anybody wish to speak to this subject? Okay, our next one is 4.4 zoning bylaw amendment for some administrative amendments. So purpose and effect is to amend certain provisions regarding the additional residential units, accessory uses in commercial buildings, outdoor burning furnaces, swimming pools and accessory buildings, height restrictions. And the amendment will also include a definition for additional residential units and a minor clerical updates such as numbering and formatting. So I'll ask again the secretary if notice of the meeting has been given to all persons and agencies entitled to receive notice, and on what was date.
So notices were published on our website and posted in the front lobby on May 20th, 2026. And they were subsequently posted in the community press newspaper the week of May 28th and June 4th.
Any written submissions at this time on the subjects?
No.
No? Anybody wish to speak to this? Public. So we're looking for a motion to go to our public meeting. Moved by Matt, seconder. Second by Don, all in favor? Carried. Number 5.1. Which is ZBA 26-012779 Spring Brook Road. So a motion that the committee receives a zoning bylaw amendment with regard to land legally described as concession 9N part of lot 15, and further that same shall be forwarded to council for approval by bylaw. Or not. Motion, or what's your wishes on this subject?
For Springbrook Road is where we're.
Yeah, 2779.
Somebody needs to make a motion to put it on the table.
I'll make a motion for.
Seconder? Second by Grant. Any discussion from anybody?
Well, go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Don.
I was gonna try to respond to this couple of question in regards to water. We're just rezoning the land. If she's going to build or whatever's gonna go on there, they're gonna have to have water available before they're allowed to get a building permit. So, that will be addressed.
For sure.
Okay. That I believe.
I guess my fear
Mhm.
is, I don't know, I'm no expert in water or how it affects other people. But if they start digging into the water table, is that gonna affect the minimum amount of water that I have now going into my well? I don't know the experts are here, but I'm not an expert in it.
And I think you'd have to likely talk to a geologist
Yeah.
about that. And of course, I think the county have people. Yeah, so.
Did you want to add anything?
Through the chair to Scott, the hydrogeological hasn't been done on this lot, correct?
Through the chair, the hydrogeological doesn't need to be done. The condition of consent was that they rezone it with that setback, so they have to be 300 meters away from the 5 dwellings in that area, or do the hydrogen study, and they chose to do the rezoning, so they have to build outside that 300 meter setback.
Where are them 5 buildings?
We're not in a public meeting currently.
Yeah.
Through the chair, to the staff,
Right.
I am confused here, so I'm sorry about this, Sydney, I am confused. I'm reviewing it here and I'm reviewing the draft bylaw, right? But I don't see the 300-foot condition in the draft bylaw. Am I missing something here? Or is that somewhere else? Because I see up in the staff report, it talks about that condition in the OP, but once the zoning bylaw is passed, then the OP no longer applies to that. So I'm truly confused, Sydney. I think you've done good work here. I don't understand. So I'm looking for clarification.
Through the chair, the bylaw is just a draft at this point, so, the bylaw that does get sent to council will have that condition put on.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody have anything else?
It's just one lot, isn't it? The one separate, or is it just one house, I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody have anything else they wanna? The motion was for 4, so I'm gonna call for a vote. All in favor? Carry. So number 5.2. 101 Goods Road. Motion that committee receives a zoning bylaw amendment with regards to land legally known as concession 1, part lot 6. And further, the same shall be forwarded to council for approval of the bylaw. Motion on that one, moved by Grant,
I'll second.
second by Caroline. Anybody have any questions on Goods Road?
Sure. We've had dealings up that way before of where, standard regulations for buildings, safety wise and so on have come into question. And this is gonna be a public school where children are. Are we safe to say they're gonna follow requirements of a public school building? As far as, alarms, fire alarms and so on and so forth?
Well, I don't think that's how they build the standards of their school.
Yeah.
There's already one on Cook Road they built
Okay,
that long ago, but it's been a few years now, but
yeah,
it was built to what they were expected to build at the time by our. I think so. Do you have any on that, Matt?
Well, I have generally the same questions. Through the chair, obviously, the school speaks of using toted water and privy for not a private school, or not a public school, but a private school, actually. And I have concerns I see in the comments that the building department was circulated on this. But did they actually have a review of this to ensure that it is going to meet the OBC for it? Or are we just is this just gonna come back to us?
Because at this time might be approval just to be able to have to do it, and then they're gonna have that in the next steps possibly. But we'll just ask.
Well,
Through the chair, so staff did meet with the applicant, and at this time, anything building related will get addressed when they submit their permit. From what I understand, it is dependent on the type of building that they're going to be actually building, on which way they need, like the requirements for water differs dependent on the type of building they're building. So.
This is literally just the rezoning of the.
Yeah.
Through the chair, yes, to allow them to rezone to the community facility, and then anything building related would be addressed with the building department.
Any more questions?
I know,
you go ahead, sorry.
through the chair, I know the one on Cook Road, they made them put running water in the school. And I'm not sure about the. They had to come under the building code,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't issue a permit until that was, and I don't know whether this is gonna be different or not. But
again, Mr. Chair. What about, like, fire exits and things like lighting for one?
Well, that's, when we pass this, then they have to, yes, go ahead, Matt.
Through the chair, as per staff has directed, this is just a rezoning. I did read the rezoning to the community facility, the draft bylaw. It may have some amendments when it gets to council, but it does not specify any of my concerns that I saw in the staff report, so I would have no problem with the rezone. It doesn't insinuate any relief from any provision.
Right.
So I have no, my concerns have been,
That may be looked after later, or will be, I think.
Through the chair, they are required to comply with all regulations.
Yeah.
Including the small water drinking system, so.
All in favor? Carried. And then we're 5.3, our administrative amendment to comprehensive zoning bylaw 32003. So motion that committee receives a zoning bylaw amendment with regards to amending the township of Sterling Rodden's comprehensive zoning bylaw number 320-03 as amended, and further that the same shall be forwarded to council for approval by bylaw.
I'll move.
Moved by Caroline, and seconder. Second. Second by Don. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. 5.4 is an application for consent for E/2644 Harold Road.
Just jump down to 5.5, that's a repeat.
Oh,
So
sorry.
if you see 5.6
Yep.
addresses that,
Oh, okay.
so just ignore that item.
Planning application status update as of June 2010. So we need a motion that the staff report from clerk 26-107 regarding planning application status updates as of June 10th, 2026 be received.
I move.
Moved by Don, a seconder. Second by Grant. All in favor? Then we're on to 5.6, which is an application for consent for B/26 Web 44 Harold Road. So a motion of the staff report CLK 26-106 regarding application for consent. B1/26 Stephen Webb 44 Harold Road be received, and further that committee approves the application with the following conditions. That the applicant provide the township with a copy of the survey on the severed lands. That the road widening across the frontage of the severed and retained lands be deeded to the township of Sterling Rodden to the satisfaction of the public works manager. That the retained lands be rezoned to the permanent agricultural exemption PA zone to prohibit residential development. That the severed lands be rezoned to the rural residential exemption RR zone. That a sworn affidavit signed by the owners be submitted to the land division secretary that confirms that retained lands are currently owned and will be conveyed to a bona fide farming operation. That safe site entries on the severed and retained lands be received and or established. Motion.
I'll move.
Moved by Grant, seconder.
I'll second.
Second by Don. Any questions? All in favor? It's carried. And then we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Moved by Caroline, second by Don. All in favor? I'll thank everybody for coming out.